Good morning, or more like afternoon. It's Sunday, April 16th, and I just came from church. I had a pretty full day already. Went to church, and then I went to visit my grandmother. I took her some flowers, and she is in an assisted living house or place now. And it was a really hard decision for us to make, to put her in such a place. But her doctor said that it was, we weren't really able to take care of her the way that we needed to, the way that she needed at this point. She's got Alzheimer's, and it's been a really rough road in dealing with a loved one, a very close loved one that has a disease like that. So I took her flowers and a nice card today, even though when I handed it to her, she doesn't, know to open it, or she can't read it, not anymore. So I just put it above her bed, and, I generally would never have gotten really personal about my life. Specifically, I guess in specific, my grandmother in a few videos was sitting right behind me, and that was the only reason that I decided to keep her in the video and not kind of move the camera over a little bit, because I knew that she wasn't going to be living in the house anymore. And I moved here to come take care of her months ago, and it's been different, a different kind of experience to take care of my grandmother as if I would take care of a child. And my mom is here, we're kind of helping out. So I said all of that to say, it's been an emotional day because I went to see her and took her flowers, and the card I wrote her was really meaningful and it was touching, but I know that she's not going to read it. And even if I were to have read it to her, and I probably would have cried if I would have read it to her, such a baby. But I just pinned it right above her bed on her corkboard, and so, and it was cool because I think maybe it was more for me, just getting the message across. Although it is going to be there for her when she wakes up, and when she's in the room, she gets to see this pretty card. And I had the choice of getting a card that said love on the outside or dream. And dream is my favorite word, but love is what I have tons of for her. But I decided to get the one that said dream. And on the inside, I wrote something to the effect of, I love you so much, and I miss you. Excuse me. And I miss you. And I know that times are hard right now. But my hope, and I pray that at least in your dreams at night, every single night, that you are able to go to a place of peace and complete love and comfort. And I said something else. What did I say? Something, I think, similar to, I think I said, and I pray, what? I forgot what it said. It was really good, though. Something like, I have to remember because it was really good. And my prayer for you is that God, fulfills any wishes that I'm unable to even, I don't know. I took a picture of the card because it was really, I wrote it really pretty too. Okay, so, moving on from that, it was amazing to see her. And at first, she looks at me like, you look kind of familiar, but I'm not sure who you are. And that sucks, that really sucks. But I know that it's the nature of the disease, and it has nothing to do with her and how she feels, so. But it's funny because she's hilarious. She's really funny, and she says stuff that she has no idea what she is talking about. She just says the most random stuff. But she still cracks up at herself, and she's really funny, and she laughs and smiles. So that really makes me happy to see. Okay, and we took some pictures. Okay, I could have had this ready, but I didn't think I'd be talking about all this. Okay, I gotta tell you. It says, may God bless you beyond what I have the ability. Oh, wait. Oh, that was sweet. May God bless you beyond what I could ever have the ability to ask God and pray for. I love you more than life. Was that right? May God bless you beyond what I even have the ability to ask and pray for. I love you. There you go. Very eloquent. In the moment, I'm good. Trying to think about it. Trying to, like, I almost had to rewrite that section, but I couldn't have even gotten to that level. But I like what I wrote, and I wish that she, on any level, is able to understand that that's how I feel about her. Okay, so enough about that. And I got her flowers, too. Her favorite color is yellow. So I got her these yellow flowers that don't have to be watered every single day. So that, you know, that's just, it makes the most sense. Okay, anyway. So that was my grandmother. And church today was really great. And it was about God's mighty resurrection power. This mighty power that God has. That today's the 16th. Easter is in 7 days. And what Bishop said today, he said this next week, the world's going to be focused on the greatest gift that the world has ever known. And that's true, which is Jesus Christ. And on Friday is the day that he was crucified. And on Sunday morning is the day that he rose from the dead. And it's quite powerful. And my church is actually having a play on Friday night. And the second part of it is on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to that. I know it's going to be very powerful. And I couldn't even watch that movie, The Passion of the Christ. Such a baby. You know, because when it got to the rough parts, I could not take it. I couldn't see someone else, another human, let alone Jesus Christ, visually seeing what happened to him and how mean people were and how they physically just, you know, it just breaks my heart. And I was watching last night on the History Channel. If I do watch TV, it's the History Channel or the Discovery Channel or the Science Channel. Such a nerd, but that's what I like. And there's so much to be learned about everything. Life and history and the world. The people of the world. So I never knew what the Shroud of Turin was. And there was a whole 2-hour thing on it yesterday on the History Channel. And I missed the very beginning, so I didn't hear the explanation of what it was. But after watching it for the rest of the time, I was able to realize that it was the cloth that was covered Jesus Christ's body. And there's been lots of controversy surrounding it, that it's not real, and when it was carbon dated, it was carbon dated to 700 years ago, meaning it could not have been from 2,000 years ago. But they also said that the pieces that were tested were from the very edges, and it's been displayed all over the world for all these years. And that could have definitely, and that probably did have a huge effect on the findings of the research that was done. So pretty much they did this so much research, and they went into pretty much the basis of the show was they wanted to recreate a 3D version or image of Jesus Christ's face from this cloth. And it was so incredible. And they went into the whole thing, 2 hours worth. So imagine, you know, every minute was like boom, 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 all this information. But pretty much, I literally, and my mind didn't know that I was sad, but there was a part where tears just came flowing down my face. And it's not painted, it's not burned. The image of his face and his body is on, well, is on this cloth. And basically, what's really interesting about it, after all these years, many teams have gone in to test it, and even people that don't believe in God or Jesus Christ, strictly scientists, that went in kind of knowing that they weren't going to believe that this is a real image of Jesus Christ after this cloth had laid on him. They said that it's not paint, so it's not a painting. It's not burned. They cannot figure out how this image is on this cloth. So it's really interesting, the whole story of it. But the part where I really had a rough time was there was actual blood on it, and the blood on the cloth were in the places that Jesus Christ had been wounded. On the sides, really bad. On the arms, on the back, it was very crazy. On the head, it was really, really sad to see, because I know the story, but to see the blood that was on the cloth was really mind-blowing. And what they did for one part to figure out the image, they put more yellow into the whiter part of it, and they put more red into the image of it, so that they were able to do a compare and contrast of the two colors, so that the background kind of went more in the background and the red kind of popped out. And you were able to see each line, like each whip or whatever weapon they used to hurt him before they actually crucified him. Because Pilate did not want to crucify him. He knew that he had done nothing wrong. So he told them just to, I think, beat him, I can't think of the exact term, with something, this crazy weapon. I think it was like a claw-looking chain thing where they kind of just kept hitting him. And he thought that that would do enough for the people that wanted him crucified. But so in addition to that happening, he also got crucified. So we were able to see on this cloth, when they did that contrast of the color, on this cloth, on the back, you could see, when they showed the image, he was just beaten alive. And to see the blood marks on this cloth, you know, my heart was just beginning to race when I saw the first image, like the first couple seconds. And the longer they kept it up, I just was looking, like, analyzing the whole thing, like, wow. It was just so, it was crazy to see. And by the end, they just had it up there for maybe 10 seconds. By the end of that 10 seconds, I was a mess. You know, because to hear the story, to know the story, but to see each place that he was whipped and the place that his skin was cut open, and it broke the skin all over his back and on his arms and on his feet. It was just puddles of blood, and on his hands and around his head. There was even a drip of blood going down his head. So, oh, geez, it's kind of rough to think about. But this is what happened in our life. And we have to look at the facts and see what's in front of us. And who knows? Let's say, for argument's sake, the cloth is not real. I know in my heart and in my soul, Jesus Christ is real. God sent him down on this earth to live and die for our sins, amongst a lot of other reasons, but mainly for that. And he came to reign on this earth, but his journey was cut short because of the fact that he got crucified. So God still made a point with Jesus. He went into the tomb and resurrected him. And it wasn't just a regular wooden tomb, not ceramic. It was a hollowed out stone. And, geez, almost 15 minutes! Wow! Okay, the point is, the same power that God went in to resurrect Jesus Christ is the same power, mighty power that God is using in your life. So please believe it.